We are live. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everybody. My name's Vicky Carroll with you on our brand new channel, Sewing Street. It has taken it's such a team effort to be able to bring us live. I know, thank you so much for everybody who's been messaging over the last few days. If you've been watching over the past 5 mornings, then you've seen lots of pre-records, but we're here and we're live for 1 hour today. We're going to be live 1 hour every single day from now going forward. Our plan is to then progress to 2 hours and then to 3 hours and 4 hours and back to 5 hours as we were on Sewing Quarter. So for those of you, as I know we're seeing lots of brand new faces coming in every single day as well, which is lovely. We are your dedicated channel to all things sewing. So those of you that love dressmaking, bag making, quilting, if you love cross stitch, if you love embroidery, we're going to cover all bases. Toy making, we've got lots of our guest demonstrators coming back from, of course, when we were at Sewing Quarter, but we're starting again from scratch, which is it's brilliant because it means that we all get to have our say. We want your input, we want to know what you would like to see, and we're absolutely thoroughly encouraging that. So please do keep messaging in. All of your lovely messages over the last few days have been just overwhelming. We've had thousands of people getting in touch with us saying they're so excited to have a dedicated sewing channel. So as I say, every morning, 9 a.m, tune in. Over the next few weeks, we're going to be bringing you lots of demonstrations and great products as well. So getting in touch with us and buying, of course, is very similar to how we did at Sewing Quarter. You can call the phone line number that you can see running along the bottom of the screen, which is a free telephone line number. That goes through to our customer service team, which is the same customer service team that we knew from Sewing Quarter as well. So actually, you'll be probably speaking to some of the same people. If you want to get involved on the web, then you can do it. Literally about 3 minutes ago, our website went live. So those of you that have already been on there, you might have seen that it just said sign up to our newsletters, which, by the way, if you haven't already signed up for the newsletter, definitely do so. You can do that also on the website. And it will just keep you in the loop of everything that's going on, and we can keep everybody excited for what's to come over the next few weeks and few months. So if you go onto the website, you'll be able to watch live. In fact, I think we can show you. So shop with us at www.sewingstreet.com. Hayley has very kindly lent me her iPad here so I can show you as well. So if you just type in sewingstreet.com, at the moment we're just taking a small part of Jewellery Maker's website until ours is fully made. So it will just direct you straight to this part, which is me. There I am. Live and kicking, we're here. And then if you scroll down, this is the part where you can sign up using your email address and we can keep you in the loop. And then underneath, we've never done this before that you've actually got the chance to pre-order. You can buy now exclusive Debbie Shaw panels, books, premiere panels. Nobody's ever seen these before, and we've got them exclusively today. So Debbie Shaw is here. She's going to be launching these panels with us first, and also we're going to be going through lots of the books as well. Those of you that have never shopped with us before, what I love about Sewing Street and I love about our channel is that it's 1p&p all day. So you can check out as many times as you want and you'll still only pay £3.95, that one postage and packaging charge, all day long. And trust me, there is so much to get excited about today that everybody's going to be wanting to multi-buy, I'm sure. And it's the same people actually in the warehouse. There's lots of our manager of the warehouse is still the same person. We've got Zoe, we've got Andrea back in the warehouse as well. So lots of the same team, and your product is coming from that warehouse. So it's a 4 to 6 day delivery time estimate, which is same as before as well. So it's business as usual, which is very, very exciting. So also, as I said, I've borrowed a Hayley's tablet. So I want to hear from you. As we are live, we love how interactive this can be. We will be able to do it that Hannah can send me, Hannah's back in the hot seat. She's here. There she is. Can you hear her? She's literally to the side of me in the little, say hello, Hannah. She's saying hello. If you go onto Facebook, this is the way of getting in touch with us today. Whilst there's a lot of people behind the scenes still working on all of the different technical sides of things. So at the moment, you can find our Sewing Street dedicated fan Facebook page, and you can post a comment to me here. So if you've got any messages for Debbie, if you've got any messages for us, any suggestions, then we would absolutely love to hear from you. Any messages for Paul or Hannah, they're both back. Both back, which is very exciting. And all of your transactions, I must mention as well, are all handled exactly the same as they used to be on Sewing Quarters. So those of you that are new to us, it is really, really easy and simple to get involved. Thank you so much for all of your support. And don't forget also to sign up to our newsletter. Show your support. You can watch on YouTube. You can subscribe on YouTube. Oh, Debbie, we've already got people shopping on the website. We've already got people shopping for Debbie's panels on the website. So, Debbie Shaw, come on in. Our very first live guest, Debbie Shaw.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm really good, thanks.
Oh, it's very, very exciting here today, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, of course, you've been sewing for years and years, and you're known for, obviously, the books that you're bringing to us today. But it's lovely to be able to have a dedicated sewing channel, isn't it?
Well, there are so many sewers. I mean, it's increasing, tenfold every single minute from what we can gather over the last few years. Because sewing went through a phase of being rather old-fashioned, a little bit like knitting, did the same kind of thing. And over the past, 5 or 6 years, it's just taken off so much.
Absolutely.
Because it's for everybody. Sewing is for the young, the medium, the old, the male, the female, the ones that don't want to be identified. It's for the home. It's for, what you wear. When you have a look around your home now, you're surrounded by sewing.
Yeah.
You're wearing it, you're sitting on it, you're drawing it against your windows, you're sleeping on it, you're sleeping under it. So it's not surprising that sewing is, not just a fabulous hobby, but it's a really important part of our lives.
If you saw the video with Steve Bennett, who is the founder of Gemporia, and he has obviously taken this on board with both hands. He's so excited to be part of and to bring us Sewing Street. But he was actually talking about the sort of mindfulness as well of sewing, and how it really is so therapeutic and also a sense of achievement.
It is. We hear this so often from people. It takes your mind away from things.
Yeah.
It gives you something to concentrate on, and it's productive. There's something. You can create something very, very small and feel proud that you've created it. And you're a sewer, even if you make a pincushion, you don't have to make a big quilt or a pair of curtains or a dress. I think it still has the same benefits.
So over the last sort of 3 years, we've been building up such an amazing sewing community and sewing family. But what we'd love as well is to see so many more joining our sewing community and family at Sewing Street. And of course, a lot of you will already know Debbie, and we are so excited and thrilled that you've brought to us 2 brand new, very exciting panels.
Never been seen before, well, apart from when I put them on Facebook yesterday, but before then...
Oh, brilliant.
And these are they.
They are gorgeous.
These are actually my bobbins. I have a collection of sewing machines, and I have a collection of bobbins. I know, it's a bit bizarre. So these are digitised photographs of my actual bobbins. So they're not my sketches,
right?
They're photographs. But they've been made to kind of look like they're sketched. I wanted a vintage feel to them because these bobbins are probably dating back to the 1950s, 1940s. So the colours in the background are very much, they're almost shaker kind of colours.
Yeah.
It gives an old-fashioned kind of appeal.
And these are the bobbins that you bought in here?
Bobbins.
These actual bobbins? Look at these.
Some of them. Now, I have changed the name on them because I can't use a brand name on there. So I'm afraid they've got Debbie Shaw written all over them.
Of course, we love it. So these aren't available anywhere else?
No, exclusive. You've got the lot of them. It's a cotton poplin. I've been very fussy about the kind of fabric that I bring you. They're printed in the UK. They're printed in Leek.
They're gorgeous.
They're designed in the UK. They're photographed in the UK, actually, in my front room. So I wanted everything to be very, very British, keep it all in-house. But quality has been paramount for me. Sometimes with these digital printing companies, they can be scratchy. And I wouldn't want you to buy something, because you're buying off the telly, you can't feel it, and get it home and just think, ooh,
Yeah.
Because then you wouldn't come back and buy anything else, would you? So quality exceptional. So you've got a fabric that you can dressmake with, like the little girl's dress that Anne made that you see there.
This is absolutely beautiful.
Pretty,
now,
isn't it?
Is it a quilting cotton weight?
It's cotton poplin.
It's a poplin weight.
It's a little bit like quilting cotton tends to be a loose weave so that you can hand sew it quite easily. So this is a tighter weave of cotton,
so pretty.
but it's a fine cotton, so it has a lovely drape to it.
And there is so much that you're going to be able to do with it. I love the fact that you've got, I mean, there's so many different prints on here, isn't there? We're only seeing a small part of it. I mean, again, you could use cushions or use it in part of your quilt.
Well, we've got a wall hanger behind us that Melissa made using both panels because the colours complement each other. And this one's got pockets
Let me move
with
her
the sewing
out the way
machines on.
so you can see, Jo. See, just to give you a bit of inspiration of how much you can do.
Yeah. And you could have a matching sewing machine mat, maybe make a sewing machine cover, theme your whole sewing room. That cushion that you're sitting on or you put in the middle of your back while you're sewing, why not make it a sewing room themed one?
Yeah, absolutely. It's lovely to have a bit of a nod to our craft, isn't it? Especially, I love thinking about using it for dressmaking as well. So
that's bobbins.
They are so beautiful. By the way, we are very, very limited on this. It's just £19.99. And just to remind you, you can buy on the phone line, the brand new free telephone line number 0800 001 4433. Or, of course, you can speak to our customer service team or buy on the web on www.sewingstreet.com. It's all based in Redditch here in the Midlands, where very close to where we were with Sewing Culture as well. But it's lovely to be able to launch with something exclusive, isn't it? How do you sort of get your inspiration, or where do you find your designs
This
from?
one was really easy because it's literally the things that I collect. So the little these are my new sewing machines actually, the little children's ones.
You collect sewing machines,
Oh,
don't
I've
you?
got loads of them. The little ones, I've only got about 5 or 6 of those. You know, the old Singer sewing machines and the Joneses and the Fisherman Rossman, and I've got loads of those, probably about 20 of them. That's a bit dusty, isn't it? Look at the muck in here.
Telly ready, telly ready. Oh, it's gorgeous. These are brilliant.
But I did initially think, oh, I'll draw them. But I don't know, I'm very good at rodents. I'm not so good at sewing machines. So these have been photographed and then digitised. So like you see on the big picture maybe, it actually looks like a painting.
Yeah, it does. The quality.
Like a watercolour, but it's actually a photograph.
And I love the colours. The colours are absolutely beautiful, aren't they? Really striking. £19.99. That is our first exclusive panel. At the moment, it's going very, very quickly, but be aware that a lot of people as well are setting up accounts. So please do take advantage of that whilst you can. That will sell out today. We've got another exclusive panel.
We have. And again, the two complement each other. So it's not exactly the same colours, but we pick up on the colours. And this is predominantly sewing machines.
Oh, I love
So these
this.
are the big cast iron ones. The little one I've actually got on the set there. But these are the Singers and the Jones that I collect. Do you know the ones that I really love? These type of machines, you see them in shop windows of trendy fashion stores.
You do.
They're so common. There's about 2.5 million of them in circulation.
Really?
So there's a lot of them about.
Well, I think a lot of people will have a lot of nostalgia with machines like this. Maybe they learnt to sew on them.
And they were built to last. I mean, they're cast iron. Yeah. The ones that I love are the ugly ones. The ones
this
like
looks
this
very
one.
much like your blue one, actually. Is this
It
your
is.
blue?
The little one's the blue one. It's a bit deceptive with size because in comparison, that would only be a tiny next to one of the big machines. This one's a Novum. And again, the names have been changed because I'm not allowed to use their own brand names. But yeah, Novum is a really unusual. It's a lovely colour. But this thing, that's a Singer. Oh, it's ugly.
Brilliant.
It's horrible. But I love it because you don't see those kind of things around anymore. Unless that's the machine that you've been using since the 1950s.
So again, are these digital print sort of photographs then?
Same thing, yeah. So again, on the larger pictures, you can probably see a little bit better.
So then what would you use these squares for? Would you cut these out and then I suppose you could keep your spot on then, couldn't you?
Yes.
For other
I'd definitely
bits?
cut them out. That was the idea behind them, which is why they're arranged like this, not something to quilt over like the ones that you're going to see in a minute. But I'm imagining maybe an apron that you've already got and putting pockets on the front. So you don't have to be a really experienced sewer and create something amazing. There's a book cover down there. Yeah, little drawstring bags.
I've seen the little drawstring
storage
bag.
boxes.
Look at this. That
so
is
I'm
beautiful.
thinking smaller projects with this one.
There's lots of colours in there actually that you're going to be able to mix and match it in with lots that maybe you've already got in your stash.
Yeah.
Notebook cover. There you go. Maybe you're starting out, like you say.
Yeah.
You don't need to necessarily think, oh, I'm going to make a massive quilt or a pair of curtains. You could just start with notebook covers.
And that's a lovely little cover actually. Jackie made this one for me. The names that I'm mentioning, Jackie, Melissa, and I have a team of girls that make samples for me, and they also share opinions. So when I first come up with ideas, and they can be very honest, I send this out to the girls, or I send pictures of it and say, what do you think? And they'll come back and say, oh, well, I like that, but I don't like that, and maybe that colour's not quite right. And then I send them samples of everything and say, do what you like with them, and this is what they came up with.
Has a lovely vintage feel to it, doesn't it?
I love that. I love the colours, and I do love the vintage kind of appeal because they're vintage products.
Yeah. Well,
They're
both of them are very,
machines.
very popular. Everybody's
Oh,
loving
good.
them at home. At the moment, you're looking about, well, they're both level pegging. You both love them both. I would absolutely make the most of, like you say, they work in conjunction with each other. The colours complement each other. For whatever level you're at, I think they're accessible, aren't they? They're accessible for, like, your large quilts or dressmaking. It would look beautiful. Bag making, of course.
Yeah,
perfect for bags.
Maybe a craft bag, or you're going to a sewing club or a class or a workshop. You could have all of your bits and bobs in an appropriate little tote bag, maybe. Lots of pockets on the front to keep your bits and bobs in.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just your ironing mat that you want to recover. You know, you don't necessarily have to sew anything. Cut the little ones out and put them in frames around your sewing room.
And you've got great value, because if you were to buy, you know, half a metre or a fat quarter of this print, and then another one of this one, and then you've got your larger squares and these ones as well. You have a lot for your money, really, don't you?
There is a lot that you can do with these. It is a lot of fabric. It's 150 wide and it's 55 deep, so you've got just over half a metre there. And again, it's the same with the bobbin print. It's 100% cotton poplin. It is a lovely quality, 30-degree machine washable. You can hot iron it as well.
Brilliant.
Because it will be creased up when you get it home. And the creases drop out
If I'm
beautifully.
multi-buying, will they come joined up or separate?
No, they're all separate.
They're all cut, ready to go.
Yeah.
Brilliant. There you go. £19.99. 1p and P and P all day. Look, did I say P and P and P? P and P and P. We're live for the first time for everybody who's just tuning in, and with brand new panels from the wonderful Debbie Shaw. Thank you so much for these. Okay, so we've got another panel which has been on your website, hasn't it? But
it has.
Yeah, I mean, this is beautiful. They're your drawings, aren't they?
Yes, thank you.
You are such a talented artist as well.
Thank you.
Just a talented lady all round. To say that you're an artist as well. Oh, this is beautiful.
I'm quite new to this artistry malarkey.
Really?
Yeah, I've always drawn for fun. But when there was an interest in actually putting my sketches onto fabric, I thought, no, they're not good enough for that. But, you know, I just love what happens with them. I like drawing wildlife. I like drawing the kind of wildlife that I see in my garden or I see while I'm walking the dog, which is all of these, basically.
Oh,
and
gosh,
can
so
I just say,
cute.
it's a weasel. A
weasel in your garden?
When we're walking the dog, you can see they've got a really funny run, haven't they? Because they're like caterpillars. But no, when I first launched these, I love the otter. Is it a stone?
So you want to just get in there straight away?
It's a weasel.
I don't think I've ever seen a fabric with a weasel on before. There you go. I love how the print.
And it's a vole. It's not a mouse. It's a vole.
And it has a lovely watercolour effect to it again, doesn't it? It looks like it's been hand painted.
This is the lovely thing about digital printing. I sketch with a really soft pencil, which is why they've got very dark outlines, and then I'll use watercolour pencil to colour them in, so you can almost see the brush strokes on them. But then I don't take away the pencil lines afterwards. That's just it's my thing.
It shows the quality of the print to be able to pick all of those lovely little details up.
Yes, and the fine lines as well. You know, where I have been scribbling, you can really see very, very fine lines, which is a sign of the quality there as well. Aren't pheasants daft? Aren't they? You drive down the road and I'm here in the road.
Get out of the way. I do love the fact that, you know, you could even do embellishing with embroidery on these,
that'd be
you?
Lovely.
From French knots for the eyes.
And free motion embroidery over the brush strokes would look lovely. This one I did kind of arrange the squares so that you can make a quilt. So like the one at the front here, all I did
let's
with
have a
this one
look.
was cut the 2 side panels to make borders that go all the way around it. And the centre bit here, kind of filled the set a bit, haven't I?
Oh, how beautiful is this?
That's all the one panel. But if you stitch around that, it actually looks like you've patched them together and you've stitched in the ditch. But that's all one piece, and then the borders around the edge. Then, of course, I've used a different fabric for the backing and the bias binding. But that's one complete panel. If you wanted to cut those up, a second panel actually made, obviously using other bits of fabric as well, I made the cushion cover.
Oh, I like it with the ochre. That looks nice. See, that could be your first quilt or your first cushion. I wouldn't have thought of putting it with ochre, but actually it really draws on these lovely autumnal tones, doesn't it? It looks really good.
And there's quite a contrast of fabric there as well, because this is denim.
Right.
So it's a lot heavier.
So don't think you always have to mix it with a poplar?
No, not at all. So again, one panel made that.
Nice.
And this, which is that as well.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
And it made, again using a little bit of extra fabric, a makeup bag.
So this is again from one panel?
All from one panel. And then I had a little bit left over of the rabbits. So I used English paper piecing just to make a pin cushion.
Oh, look at that.
And that was just about the whole panel used up.
So hang on, a cushion, a bag, a little makeup bag, a toiletry bag, and also a pin cushion.
Yep.
All $24.99.
And again, if you wanted to put a plain back on that, maybe use that as in the centre of a cushion cover, it goes a long way. I didn't want you to look at the panel and think, oh, I've got to make a quilt.
No, yeah.
You make whatever you like.
And I love these colourways going into spring. Perfect this time of year, isn't it? Perfect going into spring when everything just starts waking up, doesn't it? All of the wildlife and these beautiful colours as well.
We've got crocuses coming up.
Gosh.
And the daffodils that are just about in bud.
Oh, beautiful.
And we're only in February.
I know, after Storm Dennis, I think it's just about all survived, hasn't it? They are absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
That would make such a gorgeous first quilt, wouldn't it? And achievable as well. It looks complex. Like you say, you look like you've...
Yep. It looks like
every
piece is piece, but they're not. It's just one big piece.
Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you very, very much. We've had so many people who have got in touch with us on Facebook. Thank you so, so much. We really, really appreciate your support. Whether you are brand new or whether you've known us for the last few years, if you've seen us before, thank you so, so much for all of your lovely support. This is how, by the way, you can get in touch with us. This is our first live show. Remember, you can tune in every day, 9 a.m, and you can see us live for an hour a day. We are working on at the moment. In a few weeks, we'll be 2 hours, then 3 hours, and we'll be back to 5 hours in no time. Right, I'm on Hannah's Facebook. Oh, exactly. All of the messages have been coming through, so I've got to just filter them in. Oh, I knew that Hayley would do this. So Hayley, not Hayley, our sales manager, Hayley, who's our marketing manager. She came in and she says, Vic, I'm going to be just milling in the background. I'm going to take a picture for you for the social media. Look at how she's got me. I always do that. My husband, Kieran, always says to me, why'd you put your thumbs up at me all the time like this? Hi, friend. Hi, friend. So thank you so much for all of your lovely comments. I don't know how to see them on here, but they've told me there's loads. Oh, there we go. Keep all your comments coming in. Whoop, whoop. Break a leg to you all. Thank you for coming back. Fantastic to see everybody back. It's like you've never been away. Well done, Debbie, for sourcing British goods, keeping a lot of people in employment. There's so many people who have got involved. Brilliant. So happy to see the family back together. And perfect choice in Debbie Shaw for your first live show.
Oh, thank you.
That was from Annette. So happy to see the team back together again. That was from Jane. Wishing you all the very best of luck in the new venture. Loving the show. So pleased it's back to normal. That's Morag. There's messages and messages coming in left, right and centre. Just to remind you, you can purchase Debbie's exclusive panels via the website, which is www.sewingstreet.com. You can see at the bottom of your screen. That will redirect you to this Jewellery Maker page. We're borrowing part of our sister channel, Jewellery Maker's website at the moment, whilst ours is still in the mix of getting all up and running. So there we are. You'll see the screen. That is actually a live video. It's just, there we go. There we are, live, ready for all of your emails. If you email, then that will keep you in the loop. We'll be able to send you our all of our newsletters And underneath, these exciting new panels, your exclusive sewing machine and bobbing panels. Plus, you can also pre-order your very own Debbie Shaw signed book. So should we move on to the books, actually?
All right, then.
You've been busy, haven't you, signing books all day yesterday.
All day yesterday.
And then what happened this morning?
I had a blowout in the car and I had to leave them all at home because they won't fit in mine.
They are going to get to us, though, aren't they? So then we
Later
can
today
send
or
them all out.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, my word.
I know.
We've both had really bad luck with our cars the last few weeks. I've had the
Really?
same, yeah. I'm not going into it. Don't ask, it's still upsetting me. Anyway, which one do you want to
Should we start with satchels?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So these are Build-A-Bag books.
No, I don't think I've seen this one on air before.
No, it's new to you. Both of these are new to you. These are my two latest books. They're a little bit different from previous books that I've brought you, because I've brought you other bag books with measurements and diagrams and descriptions, because this one's got patterns. Well, they're not patterns, they're templates. So this is something that is a little bit different.
This is the one we had a bit of a sneak peek of in our pre-record, didn't we?
We did.
See, this is brilliant.
So I'll show you the template in just a second. The books do come out of the folders if you want them to.
Oh, that's lovely, built to last.
But the folder's a good place to keep your templates. So satchels, we've got lots of different styles of satchels. Large satchels, small satchels, buckled satchels, pocketed satchels.
This is what I love about you, Debbie. You've managed to find, I mean, so many different bags. There's not one that's the same in there. There's a satchel for everybody.
I try to. I mean, there are different ways of making satchels. There's 15 in here,
Brilliant.
and I'm sure you're going to find even more ways of making satchels. Even that one's a satchel. I've got that one somewhere.
I've seen that today. Oh, there it is.
So it's just used, it's not exactly a satchel, but it's a different way of using the templates. So this one's got little drawstrings either side, like so, which gathers it up a little bit. But that has come from the same pattern as that. Completely different.
Gosh.
So this one's got a side gusset and a seam across the bottom. There are others that have a rounded base to them as well.
Really practical, aren't they? Is this
the one
one?
up there. So there's different techniques that you're going to learn as well, and the techniques that you can learn while you're making up the bags you can use in other bags as well. So like with pockets, I don't put pockets on the inside of every one of the bags. I'll show you how to put a pocket into a bag, and you choose whether you want to put it in there or not.
It's all transferable skills, isn't it, for different projects. Now, can I just quickly mention, £12.99, I'm sure, now correct me if I'm wrong, these are £17.99.
I know.
I wish we could have actually filmed Debbie's reaction this morning.
I knew you were going to get a good deal on these, but you know, I'm absolutely over the moon. You take advantage of that, because you're going to be paying a lot more elsewhere for these.
And they're signed as well.
These are signed, and as an extra bonus, I've put, because I was doing all these myself yesterday, I took 10 of my patterns, which are all different to the books, and I've dropped them randomly into 10 books.
So a bit of a giveaway as well.
So 10 people that order the books are going to receive £10 worth of pattern as well.
There you go. Absolutely make the most of that. Thank you very, very much.
No, thank you. Now then, let me show you the pattern or the template. This is it.
Now, I've never seen anybody else do this. This is the first time I've seen
them.
No.
It takes away the need for paper patterns. It takes away the need for pinning. These templates are slightly see-through, so you can fussy cut, you can see through them, and they're white clean as well, because you're going to draw through these. Every one of the patterns, or every one of the different styles of bag, has outlined exactly which part of the template you need here. So it's written down at the side and it's highlighted. So for instance, with the hidden pocket satchel, I'm going to need this area here, which is this one here, so around the edge, and that's the round satchel. It's also going to need the base here, which is all of this one, and it's on the fold. It says here, place on fold. We're going to need a flap at the front, so this is the round flap here. And is there a pocket on that one? Yep, the pocket is a square pocket, so that's that one. So you've got a round flap, a square flap, a round pocket, a square pocket, a large round flap, a large square flap, a round satchel, a square. It makes sense, doesn't it, when it's pointed out?
It's not, as you can see, it's all labelled very, very clearly as well, isn't it?
And your zip hole, It's made for the perfect size of zip for this style of bag. This is the one that we filmed a demonstration for YouTube, so I'll actually show you how to do that. Yeah, my letterbox zip. Now, the size of the bags, if you bought the first two Build-A-Bag books, so that's the Occasions book and the Tote bag book, there were two templates in there. We've got those, I'll show you later on. It took so long to find somebody that could make a larger template that you can actually fold in half without it breaking, or that you don't have to hold together yourself. But now we've got a larger template, you can make a larger bag. So
I love the thought that goes into all of this.
Oh gosh, you wouldn't believe. When they first came, the templates, because this is obviously working with my publishers, with Search Press, so I come up with ideas, I drew out the template for them, and I said I wanted it in slightly see-through plastic so that...
So you could do a bit of fussy cutting as well,
They came back completely clear. And they looked amazing, till you put them on the fabric and you couldn't see them. Because they were completely clear. So there has been an awful lot of thought put into them. But this is the little mini satchel that you can make, which is the smallest size.
That's what you need. You need somebody that actually makes, obviously, a lot of bags. How many bags do you think you've made?
About 500.
There you go. So
that's the largest bag. So these two both come from the same template.
Gosh, brilliant. I wouldn't know that, you know, when you're looking at your template, you think, oh, they're probably going to be smaller bags, but actually that is a big bag.
Quite a big bag. Yeah. There's hints and tips on how to use hardware. So you choose the hardware that you want to.
You like using hardware, don't you?
I like a bit of hardware.
I think it looks shop bought, doesn't it? It looks very professional.
Think so. It gives a professional finish. And this is a shoulder pad strap. Because it's a bigger bag, you're going to put heavy things in there. You don't want that to dig into the shoulder. But that's one of the tips, so you can use it on a smaller bag.
That'd be nice
another
for,
bag.
Some of your rulers, quilting rulers.
So that's the book. Remember, the book goes inside a folder. It's got an elastic band around it so that you can keep your pages open. And this folds over and slips nicely inside the folder as well.
I do like working from a book as well. It's really nice to be able to see step by step, especially as you can see, it's so clear. You've got not only your step-by-step text, but also really clear photographs along the way.
Do you know, I was over at Stitches at over the last few days at the trade fair, and Martin, who he owns Search Press, is my publisher, was doing a talk to retailers, and it was actually really interesting because he was saying a few years ago some of the bigger book retailers, well, they went out of business because they assumed that we were all going to go down the digital age, and we were going to have e-books and Kindles and things like that, and they wouldn't need books anymore. Books are selling more now than they ever have done. And the reason being, which is something I hadn't really thought about, we're trying to get our kids away from looking at screens all the time. You can stick a bookmark in here and save it without having to scroll up and down.
That's it.
People love to actually physically hold something.
That's it.
The thing I like, well, the first thing that I love about receiving a new book is the smell. A new book smell, I know, sniff my book. But it's got a lovely smell to it. And then the thing I like to see is bent over pages and cracked spines and all the things that you say, oh, you can't do that to a book, because that means that you're using it. That you've got fingerprints on there and it's getting all
maybe you've highlighted bits that you find useful. It's your book, so absolutely do that.
There is something so special about books and owning books, and the quality of these as well. I'm not talking about necessarily the quality of my work, but the quality of the actual book is really lovely.
Now, for anybody that does craft fairs and makes to sell bags and different bits and bobs.
Ooh.
Because I know this is a bit of a lot of people say, no, they are my designs and they're my, what's your...
No, you sell them. You sell them and you make as much money as you like.
There you go.
Because in my thinking, if you're going to pay for your book, and you should easily pay for your book with your first project, and then some, because you charge for your time as well, and then you're more likely to come back and buy more, or you might give me a little credit for that. You will see in all books, actually, there'll be a statement saying that if you want to sell anything that you make, then you must get in touch with the publisher. That's fine. So you will get in touch with the publisher gets in touch with the author, and the author will decide whether they want you to sell their products or not. Don't bother doing that. I'm saying you can sell them.
Amazing. That's good to know, isn't it? Thank you so much for all of your support at home. We've had so many messages coming through. It's really overwhelming. So thank you very much. We've got another signed book, haven't we?
We have. So that goes like that.
Same concept, this
Yes.
time with backpacks.
Backpacks.
I love a
So,
backpack.
in here, do you know, I love a backpack, and not because they're really trendy or stylish, but because I've found over the years that my handbag shoulder is lower than my other shoulder.
Right.
And I get neck ache, so a backpack's nice because it's
Oh,
you're
absolutely,
evenly balanced.
hands-free. You're hands-free, aren't you? It is really useful.
So again, you've got your template, which will be inside here, which is double the size again. This time we've got eyes and nose on here because there's backpacks with faces on.
Look how adorable these are. I absolutely love these. Oh, do you know what? Whether it be for a child or an adult, I absolutely love it. And how gorgeous is it?
And that is...
Oh, it's a flap, look.
It's a flap and there's a pocket underneath. Now this particular one, there aren't any videos to go with these books. I'm asked all the time to do videos, but I wouldn't be able to produce so many books if I spent my time filming. But this one, there is a video on my YouTube channel.
Oh, fantastic.
Start to finish, how to make it. That's one of my favourites. I know it's very similar, but that's...
But just
that's
changing the fabric, just using a tweed looks so lovely, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh.
But this is a backpack, again, using the same patterns. There are different ways of putting these together. This one's got little pockets on the side as well, and a pocket on the front. This is quite fresh and nautical. There's different ways of putting your straps on as well.
Another brilliant price, I must say, as well, Debbie.
Stop it.
£12.99. This should be £17.99. If I show you the recommended retail price, these are supposed to be £17.99. But of course, for our first live day, we wanted to do something very, very special for you. So that is a bit of a cheeky price at Sewing Street. it is £12.99.
That was very specially for you, so take advantage.
Oh, using PU.
Yes,
Nice.
and a drawstring style. So it's still a backpack, but this is a little bit more, well, it's a little bit smaller, but maybe something for school, somewhere to put your ballet shoes when you're going to dance lessons. This one's a little bit different as well.
Oh, nice. That's like a tablet holder, isn't it?
It is, yes. And you've got one strap that goes across the top. So I've only got books in there at the moment. But when you close it, you can either carry it over your shoulder or you can use it as the backpack. And I've put a zip pocket hidden on this one because if it is on your back, no one's going to put their hands in the pocket there because that's against your back.
Good idea.
So,
what's that one called in the book? Do you remember what one that one is? Just because that's I've never seen a backpack like that. That's a really clever design.
I love. I should have brought that one. Forgot that one. This is another one that's adjustable, so you can either have the strap over the top like a handbag, or you can have it across your back. That's up to you.
In the book, do you talk about what fabrics you recommend, or what you think, or can you just have a go with any fabrics? I mean, you're using such a variety here.
I do recommend different fabrics, but you can use whatever you like, because if you want, say you wanted to use some of the hedgerow panel, it's quite fine. It's a dressmaking quality of fabric, but put some interfacing behind it. Put stabiliser behind it. We've got a whole section on different stabilisers, and make a fine fabric heavier. I wouldn't use a stretch fabric because you'd have a bouncy bag. But if that stretch fabric is your very favourite fabric and you really want a bag out of it, put a non-woven stabiliser on the back of it and stop it stretching. So really, you could use anything.
Brilliant. And for anybody that's never made a bag before, or is this a good place to sort of start? Would you still say at any level pick up the book and it talks you through step by step? Or...
Yes. There are simple bags like the little drawstring bag. Maybe start with something like this. I've got an oops section on here as well. So if you're sewing around the curves of the bag and it's not quite curvy enough, how to rectify that. I'll show you the templates and how they work in just a second, but most of the bags you're going to cut the fabric on the fold, but if you're using something like a PU or a faux leather, a fold, it doesn't fold flat, it doesn't crease flat, so it distorts the pattern. If your zip panel ends up being too long, sometimes when you're sewing, because this is a zip panel here, and then that's the side piece. Sometimes when you're sewing, fabric can grow, and you may end up, I mean, if you're not using a walking foot particularly, it can get a little bit longer as you're sewing. So how to rectify that, because that's not the end of the world. So I'm trying to find that bag for you, wasn't I?
Oh yeah, I just love it, sorry.
But again, there's 15 projects in here, but you can make more, I'm sure. Or why not mix and match them together? Why not put the bear on the front of a satchel?
That's it, mix and match. It makes it, I don't want to say this in front of Debbie, but it makes it less than £1 a project. £1 a project. That was a bit of a nervous laugh from Debbie, I think.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there it is, the
Convertible
convertible
tote.
tote.
So it's a tote like that, or it's a backpack if you choose to use the straps on the back as well. And it's nice and slim. You know, for security again, if you're travelling, you've got a big coat, it could go underneath it. And of course, they're for the gentlemen as well as the ladies.
Yeah, you've thought of everything. You really have.
I'd like to think so.
Just £12.99, and to remind you, it is signed as well, and it comes with that reusable template. They're both brand new books to us. Well, it is our very first live broadcast, which is very exciting. So you say this one actually has a video tutorial on your YouTube channel as well.
It's how to make the panda bag, but more important, how to put the zip panel in the side. So although some of the bags look quite similar, there's different techniques, different ways of fitting the panel in the side. Some are a little bit more complicated than others, but I'd like to just explain that one to you. On the inside here, you don't see any raw edges, and there's no bias binding. So that may be one of the difficult ways. Not difficult, one of the more advanced ways.
That's what I like. You can almost go through your journey, pick out what your level is, and then learn along and learn these new techniques. Well, it isn't just a book that you're going to pick up once.
No. When you've made your first one and you find it quite easy, then make something a little bit more complicated. Then make something a little bit more complicated. Then set up a stand and sell them all.
Or be like you and keep them all.
Or keep them. Loft insulation.
Absolutely. We've had so many messages coming in. Thank you so much. Lovely to see the show. Great to see you all back to normal. So pleased, like what you did there, Tim. Tim said, so pleased to have you all back. Glad to see that Paul and Hannah are back in the team too. Can you hear them? Keep the prices down in there. Sally said, brilliant to see you all back. Yes, I'm ready and tuned in, said Judith. Lovely to see you all back. Welcome back. There's so many of you. I mean, the messages. I like the little Simpsons gif as well. I don't know if I can show that on telly, but that's really funny. Oh yeah, like that. If you do want to send in your messages, we're doing it via our Facebook page, by the way, which is Sewing Street. You can find on Facebook. If you do want to buy one of Debbie's new exclusive panels or any of the books that we've been looking at, then you can do it on our website, or the w's.sewingstreet.com. Our output on there, we are improving how sharp it is, and we are working on our very own website, so it will redirect you straight to the Jewellery Maker website that will look like this. You'll be able to watch on the screen here. You'll be able to sign up for our mailing list underneath, and that will give you all the updates, what's coming up over the next few weeks. And then way over half of the panels have gone. They are new and exclusive. So they're not even on your website, are they? No. They're new and exclusive today. And of course, you've also got all of the books that we've been looking at, plus a couple of the others as well, actually. One postage and packaging all day long, as always. The customer service team are still the same people that you may have spoken to in the past. If you are new to us, they're really lovely, very friendly. It's a UK-based customer service team. In fact, it's just down the road from us here in Redditch. So definitely have a chat with them because they're really lovely. Or if you prefer, you can buy it on the web. Are there a couple of the other books that you want to have a look at? Because I can see a few on here. This is great. We never used to have this, did we, where you can sort of pre-order, see what's on the show and grab what you want.
The first two Build-A-Bag books are Build-A-Bag Occasion and Build-A-Bag Tote Bags. This is going to be it with the Build-A-Bag books. I think I've practically covered every type of bag that you can create. So just have a quick look at the Occasion bags. This is more for evening, if you like. Or
these would be lovely. I do like a nice clutch bag.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. That's what I have a lot of. I do tend to collect clutch bags. They're beautiful.
But we've got shoulder bags, clutch bags, makeup bags. That's actually using the template upside down. So you see the shape of that bag there. Turn it upside down and you've got that shape. And there you go. I'll show you how to make that little rose as well. Using different types of fabric and embellishments. That's actually a 3-pocket bag, and you don't see any of the seaming on the inside of the line. It took me ages to figure that one out.
That's really
but
clever.
It works. That one doesn't have a gusset, so it's a very slim bag. Mm-hmm. But I mean, when you're looking at books or you're looking at patterns, don't don't dismiss the bag because you don't like the fabric. Because I'm thinking that very slim bag would look lovely in something sequined for an evening time. Maybe you don't like pink hearts for patchwork. What about a faux leather?
Yeah.
What about a really lovely deep burgundy or something?
You have to think outside the box sometimes. I know that some people are better at doing that than others, aren't they? I know that when looking around a house, I'll go, oh, I don't like that carpet or I don't like that sofa. And you think, no, well, that can be changed. You can change that. You've just got to think, actually, as a blank canvas, look at the shape of it and use your own fabrics, your own choices. But it's also good to be able to get some inspiration of what colours work well together.
Yeah, and this, the fabrics that you're choosing could be fabrics that you already have or fabrics that you're upcycling. Maybe you've got a favourite shirt or a pair of trousers. They don't take enormous amounts of fabric. You know, if you're making a large satchel or a backpack, you're going to need a lot more fabric than if you're making something like this. So they're quite quick makes. Again, I'll take you through the hardware that you're using, how to do piping, fit magnetic snaps.
I noticed you've got a glossary section as well, we've just flicked past, which is really lovely because obviously those of you that are new to us, welcome on in to the Sewing Street family. We're so excited to, well, you're going to learn so much over the last 2 years. I have learned so much, but I do remember my very first day with all of these words, I was thinking, this is just overwhelming. It sounds like a different language and we're so used to it. So please forgive us, by the way, if we are going on and carrying on talking, you know, with different jargon that you don't recognise. But I love the way that you're actually, you know, telling us exactly what these words mean.
Yeah, these are the words, the glossary of some of the words that I use in the book. It's not a huge glossary because I don't tend to use jargon. I don't understand a lot of it myself. I think it can completely throw people. I don't like abbreviations. So if I'm going to write right sides together, I'll write right sides together, not RST.
Yeah.
Because it always takes a couple of seconds to RST. Oh yeah, that's right sides together, isn't it? So you won't see any of that in my books.
I think that's handy.
Everything's kept very simple.
Also, you can message us. Please do. Please message us. It isn't just a shopping channel. This is a community. Talk to other people that may watch Sewing Street as well. That is something that we're so lucky to be able to have. It's such a lovely sewing community. We're part of it with you guys. You interacting with each other. We share, we learn, we share tips. We look at each other's projects and makes. It's such a lovely, lovely community. So we are more than just a shopping channel, and I do want to make sure everybody who's new to us is part of that as well. Which is lovely.
It's like if we're a bricks and mortar shop, it'd be like inviting people in, but you're not leaving till you've bought something. You can quite happily take a walk down Sewing Street and take a knock on the door and come in and see us and have a perusal, show us what you've been making, like you said. We'll put the kettle. This isn't really going to happen, by the way. But it's that kind of feeling. Instead of sitting at home on your own thinking, well, I don't know how to do this, or I've got an idea, or I wonder if somebody would be interested in. I think the power of social media and the internet these days is amazing because it brings everybody together.
Oh, I mean, I've been talking to ladies from all over the country, all over the country. There's so many people who have contacted us, especially over the last couple of months. We've been inundated with messages of lovely, lovely support and encouragement. So we're so excited to be able to bring that community back together. And also, we're really open to your input. We want your input and we want your suggestions of what you would like to see. Of course, we're definitely going to be bringing lots of quilting, bag making, dressmaking, toy making, hand stitching, embroidery, all sorts. We've got loads lined up, which is very exciting. If you do want to have your say and get in touch with us, if you want to say hello, maybe you've never watched before. This is our first live show with Sewing Street, so please do send in your messages and we can say hello to you. Also, Annette, hello Annette, Annette's messaged in. She says she's got 2 of the books already. She says they're great.
Thank you.
I bet they must look good actually on your bookshelf, like your encyclopedias of bag making. Really handy to just go to, aren't they? Oh, definitely add a couple more to the collection. We've got about 10 minutes, so that was occasions.
That's occasion. So really quickly on to totes, and that's all 4 of them now. And the tote, they aren't huge. I know there is a comment on Amazon saying, oh, they're really small, but they're the size of the template. If we'd have had the technology to make bigger templates in those days, I haven't brought samples of these, by the way, because the room's not big enough. But
I think we've put quite a few bags out, haven't we?
But again, different styles and different types of embellishments and different ways of making them look. But you're going to learn techniques in here as well, from how to fit a magnetic snap to a little bit of quilting, bow making, hand embroidery. There's always a list of the tools that you're going to need. These aren't the tools that you want, these are the tools that you need. And techniques like fitting a zip. You could fit this zip into the top of any one of the bags. So, and again, with the pockets and with piping, you put those where you want them to.
That's it again. Saying this again, but these are all transferable skills.
Yes.
These are all skills that then you'll be able to use even when you're learning how to do piping. You can do piping on a cushion then.
Yes.
And it isn't just necessarily techniques that you'll only use in bag making.
No, not at all.
Across a lot of the different, putting in a zip, you'll learn how to put in a zip for a dress.
Yes,
I'm sure it's probably the
absolutely.
same way that you do it.
And lining things and bagging them
That's
out and
it.
making handles. Maybe you'll get to the stage where you want to design your own bag.
Wow.
But you think, well, I can't remember how to put a patch pocket. How would I make a flap? How do I create those different styles of bags? Use this as inspiration, if you like.
If your New Year's resolution maybe is to start a new hobby, start a new skill, or maybe dust off a sewing machine that was in the garage or in the loft and say, right, actually, do you know what? I remember I used to do that. Maybe Debbie's panels at the beginning, you thought, do you know what? I remember that sewing machine. My mum or my grandma had one of those. It's really nostalgic, isn't it? And the sense of achievement when you make your own, oh, it's just brilliant. All the panels, by the way, are now in single figures, so do make sure you're checking out as soon as you can. Do you find that when you're looking in shops now at bags that you start to notice, oh, that's not right, or that I'll do that differently?
I do, particularly pattern matching. Yes. Looking at bags, I'm more likely to go into a bag shop to get ideas. I love figuring things out. So if I see an amazing bag with lots of pockets and it's an unusual shape, in my mind I'm thinking, how do I do that? And then when I figured it out, how do I write that simply so I can explain to somebody else how to do that?
Yeah.
So it's not copying, it's just taking a bit of this and a bit of that and putting them together again.
course.
No, the worst one's clothes shops.
Oh, don't get me started on that. This is why I think so many people have got into dressmaking is because they're quite poor sometimes in some of these big mass-produced shops. I think, oh my word, they've not finished that. That's not right. That's not straight. Yeah, you really notice more.
Loose threads, hemlines. I mean, not everywhere, obviously, and you tend to get what you pay for. But if you can make something yourself, not only are you going to have it perfect, it's going to fit you as well. Because we're not always a perfect size whatever.
Yeah.
So if you're making something yourself, you can adjust that to have an absolutely perfect fit.
Absolutely. Now, you've also got a sewing machine secrets book,
yes.
haven't you?
This is for the beginner. So
Fantastic.
if you've never used a sewing machine before, this book is designed to take you through how to use a sewing machine, what you need to put in your sewing room. You've got a picture of my sewing room in here as well, which you don't see that side of my sewing room very often.
Oh, who's
no,
this?
That's Bobbin.
Oh, hello, Bobbin. Oh, brilliant. Of course. Did we expect anything different? Bobbin's a dog. Can you not see Bobbin? There's Bobbin. Oh, very strong name.
Yeah. So yeah, explaining different types of sewing machines, advising what you need.
Brilliant.
And again, these are things that you need to get sewing. I'm not going to describe to you an embroidery machine or anything like that. These are things that you need to get going. But then there are skills that you're going to learn as well.
Debbie, when I first started and I came, jumped into the deep end on a sewing channel and thought, right, I don't belong here. I don't know what to do. I feel silly asking different questions. So this is brilliant. In fact, it's invaluable for somebody that's a new sewer. If you don't want to ask those questions, if you feel a bit like, oh, I don't really know what that does, this is brilliant. It's things like interfacings that look very similar. and
Interfacing,
different sorts of
stabilisers, waddings, battings, what do they all mean?
My sister's asked me to do a blind hem on her trousers. She doesn't want to see the stitching, so she was like, can you do it? So things like this, just to be able to go back to basics and have pictures might not be something that you do every time. Even if you are more of an experienced sewer, these are really good things just to go back to the basics, aren't they?
Yes, and the skills that you're going to learn throughout the book, you then go on to make a project. So I'll tell you all about shearing elastic and how to use it, and then there'll be a little girl's dress. What is free motion embroidery? How does that work? And then you'll go on to make a little bag. Or you can make a toaster cover using trapunto with, again, the free motion embroidery, and how to put the bias on. So it's not just a techniques book, it's a techniques with 10 projects in there as well.
Amazing. Muscle memory of learning the skills, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So those of you that are new to us today, welcome to Sewing Street. It is our very first live show, and you're going to get addicted. You are going to get addicted. Sewing comes with a bit of an addiction warning, doesn't it? You're going to love it. Can we see the signed books again? There were 2 books that you've signed for us. There are a lot of people who are coming in for these. The satchels and the backpacks.
And backpacks. So do you want to see satchels first?
There's your satchels. 15 projects, did you say?
15 projects, yes, and you'll probably be able to make more yourself. These are the books that use that large plastic template. So there's no pinning, there's no cutting out patterns, there's no resizing, it's wipe clean. It's a book inside a folder, so everything's kept nice and neat in there as well. But it's really simple to use. If you're not very good with patterns, this is the easiest template that you can use to make a bag.
And it's so, I mean, this is something that reusable, obviously, really lovely quality and very clear.
Yes.
Like you say, you don't use jargon or the different fancy words. It's very easy to follow.
It's very easy to follow, and it's explained in the book as well. So how to use the template is explained, but then for every single project, there's a picture with the highlighted areas of the template that you need to use as well.
Pictures are fantastic. I must do a shout out to your husband. He's done all of the photography, hasn't he? It does make sense, and it does make a difference to have really clear photography.
And a lot of them. I think one of the benefits of the way that we work, my husband's a photographer. He used to be a fashion photographer, but I keep him too busy. So he'll photograph things as I'm making them.
Right.
So I don't prepare a lot of stages and go down to my publishers and have them photograph that. This is as I'm sewing, which means that if I think, oh no, I need to put another step in there, or I don't think that's explained enough, then we can go back and we can reshoot it. When you look at other project books, you don't see this many photos normally. Some of them you don't see photos, you just see the finished picture. But I just wanted as much information as I can.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like when you read a recipe and all you get is a finished picture, but you don't get the individual pictures. It's not so easy, is it?
No, it's not. It does make such a difference, especially a lot of us who are creative are visual learners, aren't we?
Yes.
So, brilliant value for money. It's £12.99. The RRP is £17.99. So, thank you very much. In fact, actually, I don't know whether you had a say in it, did you actually?
No, we wanted a good price, but that's entirely down to James, my publisher.
That is brilliant. And then the backpacks.
Backpacks, again, you've got the larger template with these. But you can make very small things. So that's using the same template as some of the larger bags. So there's drawstring bags, there's 2-dimensional bags, there's bags with flaps, there's bags with pockets, there's bags with pockets on the front and on the back.
Oh, I love the faces.
I mean, you could put long ears on that, make it into a rabbit or something. So adapt them. You make these into your bag. So we've got quilting, we've got drawstrings, lots and lots of instructions on how to make these as well. Some of these may look rather complicated, some of them are, but some of them are very, very simple. So start with something simple if you are new to sewing and work your way through to something that's achievable.
We'll see you very soon, won't we? Fingers
Hopefully,
crossed. Do you know when we're back?
Don't know when yet.
No, but thank you so much.
you.
It's been an absolute pleasure to be with you, especially bringing these exclusive panels.
Thank you.
Oh, it's been brilliant. And bringing in all of these beautiful makes. We haven't even scratched the surface. So we hope to see you soon.
See you soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do make sure that you're commenting on Facebook. Message in. We are live and interactive. It's facebook.com/Sewing Street TV. /Sewing Street TV if you want to find us on Facebook. And we can get involved. We want to hear all of your comments. I'm going to have a good read of them this morning. I'm going to have a look and go through, as we haven't had chance to read them all out. I'm going to go through them with Debbie. So thank you very, very much. We've had an overwhelming amount of messages over the last hour. Tomorrow, we'll be live again, 9 o'clock. Do make sure you set your alarms nice and early for us at 9 o'clock. And we've got a very exciting hour because we've got Jane from Elna, Jane Brogan from Elna. Those of you that already know her know how knowledgeable she is on her machine. So if you've got any questions about your Elna machine, of course, get them in. We've got the 680 Plus. And we've got an exclusive offer, especially for Sewing Street. So if you do love your Elna sewing machines, or if you're looking to upgrade your machine, definitely tune in tomorrow, as it is an exclusive, amazing machine. Or if it's the first time that you've seen us, it is going to be brilliant. Jane is fantastic. She knows everything about the machine. So any of the questions, do make sure you get them in for us. As I say, I am going to read through all of the lovely messages now on Facebook. And if you do want to watch us or buy online, it's www.sewingstreet.com. If you type that into your search bar, it will then redirect you to the Jewellery Maker website, which we're borrowing for a few weeks whilst ours is up and running, which is exciting. We're just working on that at the moment. But you'll be able to watch the screen live and then underneath sign up for our newsletter to get all of the latest info. Over the next hour, you're going to be seeing a demonstration of a different Elna machine, actually. It was the 720 Pro, which is going to be coming up with Victoria Peat. That's a repeat show. That is going to be that was a pre-recorded show that we did last week. And then you can watch back this hour at 11 o'clock. So if you're just catching this, tune in tomorrow to see us live with Jane at 9 o'clock. But Debbie's exclusive panels are available online. We'll see you tomorrow morning.